Hello and welcome to lesson 4 of Drumming with Connolly. I'm Tim Connolly, your host, and this is lesson 4 in our ongoing series. And as you can see, we are finally at the drum kit, and we're going to learn the basic quarter note groove and the basic eighth note groove. And then in ongoing lessons, lessons 5 and 6, we're going to learn to advance on those grooves, okay? So first of all, we're going to start with what takes place in a quarter note groove. The bass drum, the snare drum, and the hi-hat for today is what we're going to do. You can also play it on the ride cymbal, and you can also even play it on a cowbell or other percussion instruments. For today, we're just going to play it on the hi-hat to get us started, okay? The important thing about the quarter note is knowing the pulse, feeling the quarter note so that you know how fast to play. We're going to play this slow. I believe in doing all our beginner exercises, or even if you're an advanced player and you're just learning a new groove, you should always do everything slow to start with, okay? So we're going to start with the hi-hat, and it's, when we're striking the hi-hat, I like to strike it so that it's flush, the whole stick hits the hat as opposed to on the edge or too much on the top. We'll learn that technique later, but for now, let's just hit flush on the hi-hat, okay? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're establishing that downbeat pulse, okay? The bass drum is going to be played as half notes on beat 1 and 3. So we'll do that now. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Snare drum also half notes 2 and 4. Let's put the whole groove together. Okay, so that's your basic quarter note groove. Now we're going to do the basic eighth note groove. Everything is the same, except the hi-hat doubles. We're going to play 8 eighth notes in one bar of 4/4 time, as opposed to just 4 quarter notes. So we're doubling up the hat, okay? So it's going to sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Once again, we're just playing a stagnant pulse on the hat, just so that you get used to hitting it and getting a nice bounce off of it. Later on, we're going to learn about different ways to accent on the hat to get a different feel and conveying a pulse. But today we're just going to do straight, steady eighth notes. It sounds like this. With the bass drum, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Snare drum on 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. The whole groove. We can also play that on the ride cymbal. Let's do the quarter note groove first. 2, 3. And now the eighth note on the ride cymbal, the eighth note groove. 1, 2, 3. Basic quarter note and an eighth note groove. I would like to add, when I went to the ride cymbal for both patterns, I was stepping a quarter note pulse. That's something that I think is really important. When you're playing on the hat, you don't really lift your foot up and down as much for this particular groove. But when you go to the cymbal, you want to convey a pulse to the band members and to the audience. So eighth note. So either one, quarter note or eighth note groove, you're going to establish your pulse from stepping your hat. And that's our quarter note, eighth note lesson for today. Thanks very much. See you soon.